4,715 pounds, one owner Rockwood, originally sold right here at Haywood RV. Short, light couples camper with a big, deep U dinette slide, Murphy bed, and a great rear bathroom. Going through this, I've got a pretty good eagle eye. I've seen thousands of trailers in my career now, and I noticed a couple little things that are not necessarily ideal. I don't personally think they're anything to be concerned about, but you deserve to know about them. You don't know me from Adam, chances are, so why would you trust my opinion? I'll present you some information, and I'll let you decide, and we'll go from there. How's that sound for fair? And I think situations like this are exactly why you should consider bringing your business here to Haywood RV of Coldwater, Michigan, because we don't hide stuff, no matter how minor. We point it out. If we see something, we say something. Because, like, if I just looked here, I was like, hey, guys, you got this big 7-foot dinette. Isn't that great? Well, sure, but that's not the whole truth. Because if you look just a little bit closer, if you know what you're looking for, and this is the kind of thing that a disreputable dealership would take advantage of on a new client. I pulled this down, and I spotted a couple little braille bumps right there and a little bit of discoloration. Now, if I change hands on the camera, if I get right up close here, I mean, it's as solid as the day it was built. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that wall. But there's been some water touching it. So here's what I think it was. Or maybe a combination of these two things. Because it's obviously not a window leak. It would be far more widespread if that were the case. I think either the window was left open a little bit too long in too hard of a sideways driving rain, or when this cushion is up here, it's easy for condensation to potentially build up behind that pad, and that seat pad is going to basically act like a sponge. So I think it is possible that it held humidity from the air there, and that's what caused that wall to be the way that it is. But again, I literally just hammer-fisted it with my noodle arms, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not an MMA fighter. I don't I don't hit stuff that hard. But you get the idea. It's still solid. Remember, too, even though the RV looks new, it's new to you. That does mean it is a pre-owned RV. The other thing I noticed is something similar. Under this window back here, I noticed some similar braille bumps. So I did the same thing. I went, and very quickly I discerned that is as solid as the day it was built. So what caused this? And then I looked right here, and I saw a towel rack. It stands to reason people are going to wash their hands or dry their bodies with a towel, and they're going to use the factory-supplied towel rack right here. That moist towel is going to touch this wall. A little bit of that moisture soaked into this and caused these little spores to grow. And that sucks. It's unfortunate, but it's not a structural issue. It's not going to get really any worse than it is just sitting here. It's not going to continue to organically expand over time, but it's also not going to get any better just sitting here. So you folks deserve to be made aware of that. So what this means is, like, where does that leave us right now? Well, if you appreciate the transparency with which we operate here at Haywood RV, if you're like, you know what, for the right money, I'd still do business with you guys, whether it's on this RV or another one, great, stay tuned, or find another RV video to go through. And if that's a deal breaker, once again, I hope you appreciate the transparency and that we've earned your respect here at Haywood RV enough that you would consider looking at another RV that we have. So, if you're still with us and saying, well, for the right money, what you got? So this is what I call the Generation 1 Murphy bed here from Rockwood. And if we take a look, you can see how this living space converts into a front walk-around queen. And then our dinette over here also folds down into roughly something like a full bed. It's like 7 foot long, 44 inches deep or so, something close to those measurements anyway. And what that means is that most of the time you've got a couple that is going to be in this RV, but if you have a guest, you have enough room for guest capacity with that U-dinette sleeper. Or as you'll see later in the video, you can use that in travel mode. I'll show you this thing closed up in travel mode in a minute. During the day, obviously, what we're getting here is super slide living space with a sofa and a dinette in an RV that does not have the length, weight, cost of a super slide. Pretty cool. You do have a curtain there for privacy. That is one thing with Murphy beds. Because your living room and your bedroom are basically the same room, you are sacrificing a measure of privacy. But in a couples camper, maybe that doesn't matter. Also, this was made in the earliest generation of Rockwood's Murphy beds. This model was still what's called their Ultralite not the Mini Lite as it would be called today, or when it was in production anyway. So it has dual section day and night shades, so you actually can have good privacy here. There is storage below that as well, just like you would have under a bed. If you look on either side of the bed, you have your nightstands with drawers and your hanging closet, so you have everything a bedroom has, everything a living room has, just all kind of smashed into one. This was one of the first, I think 2012 is when Rockwood first started vaulting their ceilings. If I glanced at the VIN number correctly, I believe I decoded that just at a quick glance to a 2013. I could be wrong. But, so this has that vaulted roof to give us a little more space. We also have centralized air conditioning and dual ducting. You can see how there's 2 AC runs running down the trailer to give us, great, airflow. Obviously, we've got seat side windows for days here. There's a good look at the day-night shades that I mentioned. The slide side windows slide open for airflow. All other windows on this are frameless to help us with some rainy day airflow and to protect the seals from sun exposure a little bit more. This is that beautiful hickory wood tone that they used to offer at Rockwood. This came before maple and now the darker maple. And I was a sucker for it because it's a little bit lighter. It's neutral-ish with just a tinge of light, but it's got such a warm, welcoming look to it. You can really see a lot of the wood grains. It feels very natural. That table is fully free-floating, by the way, so if you want to flip that outside for picnic time or put it in front of the sofa for dinofa time, you can do that. Aluminum frame dinette with full storage below. And, you can see how there's doors for easy storage access on the bench ends. Actually, that side over there is a drawer, not a door. But the rear bench, you could move everything out of the way and access it from inside. But as we walk around the exterior of the RV in a minute, you'll find that there's actually a cargo door on the outside of the slide face to get under that as well. So it's kind of good inside or outside space. All the original electronics appear to be here. Actually, the folks had the TV pulled out and stored out of cold weather. So they were very cautious about keeping this thing in good shape. Actually, they said, we really like it. So I said, okay, so if you like it, why are you getting rid of it? I appreciate your business here at Haylett RV, but why didn't you keep the camper? They said, well, we just kind of found in the evenings, we were getting up and down to the bedroom or to the bathroom at night as we got older, and Murphy beds do sit a little bit higher than a standard bed, and we just wanted something with a little bit lower bed where we didn't have to flip the bed up and down. Okay, I totally respect that. So, we had something to work for them here. Drawers to the floors, and this was made when they still had the larger peninsula style counter here. Solid surface with a stone cast sink below rated for up to 500 degrees. And the Peninsula sink is mirrored, or pardon me, Peninsula counter rather, is mirrored with that Peninsula overhead cabinet that you actually don't find in today's Mini Lites. People like the RV to look and feel more open, so unfortunately we lost a chunk of cabinet space when that happened. I'm always a proponent of more cabinet space over less. I do like that we have a dedicated pantry right there, and if you're noticing, that is a larger 22-inch oven. Passing through past the refrigerator to the bathroom, next to our converter and our multi-detector, our CO detector, you do have a plunger-style battery disconnect. It's simple, but man, it's effective. When the RV's in storage, it keeps those batteries from getting eaten up by phantom load. Good storage below, and big, 8-foot wide bathroom back here. Plenty of counter space, so, if you're washing your hands, you've got room for your toothbrushes, and Rockwood actually has a little toothbrush holder there. Handy little, enclosed vanity medicine cabinet for our Lipitor and stuff. This is an easy area to get to see the vaulted roofing because I don't use wacky fisheye lenses. Now, up top, larger max air vent fan. And this is really important here in the bathroom for getting that shower steamy humidity out of the RV. Not to mention the fact that this RV has frameless windows, which don't normally pull as much organic airflow from outside. So that bigger vent fan can help overcome that. And Rockwood doing Rockwood things has always been excellent about giving us dedicated storage space here in the bathroom. And instead of a travel trailer tub, we have a handy corner shower. And look at the general cleanliness of this. The shower, like bathrooms and sinks and stuff, those are things that I look for in used RVs because they're usually, not always, but a good indicator guide as to how well was this RV maintained. And this one appears to have been maintained well. One of the things we like to do for you at Haylett RV is show you something in travel mode with the slide retracted. As is the case with some Murphy beds, you see that when the slide's closed, you are not able to put that bed down. It does stick out past the sofa. You would end up crushing stuff. Winnebago is actually a brand that we carry here at Haylett RV, and their Murphy beds are always designed to be down in transit, which is kind of a cool thing. But back to the point here. Travel access with slide closed. It's got good counter space. You've got a big table. But if you take a little sideways travel trailer two-step and do the cowboy boogie, you could walk your way through here, and you can access the entirety of any of your storage anyway. You are going to lose on maybe access to your entertainment center, but hey, no big deal right there. You see that you can get to your fridge, you can get to your storage, you can get all the way back here, even to the rear bathroom. With the slide-out closed, you never have to crack the slide, so if you're going to make a little travel stop and get a bite to eat, you can. If you do need to make a travel stop and sleep a wink, remember you got that giant U-dinette that could sleep an adult easily, 2 if you're close. Back outside, you can see how the skin looks good, awning fabric stuff looks good. Power awning, by the way, does have, so that TV that we saw inside, it can actually mount outdoors, and you see that black bag next to the tires back there. That is the original grill that came with this RV. Similarly, when the folks bought this here at Haylett RV, they added a weight distribution and sway control system. This is an older style, round bar style with chains and a friction sway bar and whatnot, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. We have since gravitated to newer style of hitching, and that's actually what the previous owners have decided to do. They've decided to get newer hitching with their newer RV that they're purchasing, so they're leaving that older hitching behind. It's an older style, it's not my preference, but it is free and it is included. So, if this is going to be your first RV, or if you're swapping from the family pop-up or whatever, there's a hitch system right here included with this RV that you don't have to pay for. Power tongue jack on the front does the heavy lifting for us. This does have an enclosed underbelly. And there is that door under the, right on the slide out itself to get to that rear bench storage, as I mentioned previously. The tires, 4-wheel independent torsion axle and suspension system, helps this thing ride very nicely, especially at higher speeds when you're cornering. It really stays right on track the way it's supposed to. Full outside utility shower for a little campsite cleanups, right above our sewer hookups and whatnot. Spare tire under the hard shell cover has never seen the light of day, thankfully. You see the fantastic fan style vent cover above the bathroom, so you could get some rainy day airflow. Speaking of which, I just got a raindrop on the face, so I think we might have some precipitation coming in. Thankfully, compared to what we have had recently, it will not be of the frozen variety. So this is a better way to get to look at the grilling and TV station. You see the grill included right there. It actually mounts right on the side of the RV, and if you want the TV inside, mounts right over there. Overall, I don't have an ounce of hesitation about the trailer personally. If I had an uncle or someone come in looking for a nice, lightweight little couples camper, I'd show them the 2 spots that I showed you guys when we first stepped inside, and I wouldn't hesitate again. The thing looks absolutely fine to me. I don't believe those are symptoms of leaks. You know what? We haven't looked at the roof. I'm about to wrap this thing up. Let's get up there. What am I doing? Speaking of which, up top here, it's just got some winter storage dust on it. Otherwise, below that, it looks pretty good. Like if I scrape this off with my feet down here, underneath we got a pretty good white roof membrane. The seals are definitely reaching a point where I would recommend a set of touch-up beads here and there around some of these fixtures. You can start to see a little bit of that weather cracking. That's not like, you can see where there's no water can penetrate through it, but that is what happens before water penetrates through it. So, like when you're looking at stuff like this over here, it is definitely at the point where you want to take a touch-up bead around almost all these fixtures. This looks like all the original roof sealants. They don't look like they've been replaced, although the front and rear termination strips where the rubberized roof membrane meets the front and rear, like nose and rear wall, they look like they applied some kind of coating on them. I suspect, looking at it, it looks like maybe they did some kind of like Flex Seal coating, like right there, that little rubber spray stuff. It works fine temporarily, but it does not play well with the sun. It deteriorates rather quickly. So I don't think the RV needs a full peel and seal, but it is approaching an initial lightweight maintenance cycle. And there you have it, guys. Obviously, like I said, top to bottom, inside and out, we shoot you straight, tell you what's what. Appreciate all that. Give us a call here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan, where the only thing we don't do is hidden dealer fees. Sorry for the convenience. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.